Well, hey gang, how are you doing? Jonathan here for Tailhunter Sportfishing, and it's time once again for the Mexican Minute LAPAZ video fishing report, coming to you from La Paz, Baja, Mexico, and covering all of the fishing action for our Tailhunter Sportfishing fleet for the week of the 14th through the 22nd, 2023. Wherever you are, hope you're doing well. Thank you for checking in. Thanks for spending time with us, and please, if you like what we're doing, do us a big favor, give us a thumbs up, a like, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, if I talk a little crazy, if I'm a little speed up, something like that, if my brain's a little frazzled right now, if I look a little tired, it's because, well, Jill and I have been awake probably for the last 48 hours. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but behind me, we've still got Hurricane Norma sitting on top of us here in La Paz. Listen. If you just want to fast forward, you can go straight to our fishing gallery. You can see all the fish we were catching, and then right after that, don't click off because I've got a lot of footage of Hurricane Norma and you can see what it did to us. But basically, fishing was going really, really well. If you've been following the fishing reports, you know that we had about 2 weeks after that last full moon, waters got really dirty, they got warm, fish decided not to bite, total lockjaw, nothing going on, not even a bonita, couldn't catch needlefish. Very, very, very sporadic fishing, very erratic weather for about 2 weeks. And we thought, wow, the season's done. Things were starting to change quite a bit. And I thought, wow, it's been a premature end of the season. And usually our season goes from about April to about, well, I don't know, the end of October, beginning of November. But wow, it looked like it had shut down completely by the beginning of October. Well, the last, 8-10 days or so, waters got blue. Fishing got a little bit back to normal. The temperatures, while still cooler than normal, they had dropped from the high 90s to about the mid 80s, very comfortable. Humidity had dropped off a little bit as well. Night times very, very nice in the mid 70s, a perfect time to be down here, and the fish started biting again. The Dorado, which had moved way outside, far away off the north end of Espiritu Santo Island to get away from that dirty, crazy water we had. The blue water was located pretty far away. And what had happened in the last week or so, the fish started moving closer. The blue water started coming back. The Dorado started biting. Well, not as many of those really big toed bull Dorado like we were getting earlier in the season, those 40 and 50 pounders, but still a lot of fun-sized 8, 10, 12, 15, 20 pound fish were biting. For our Las Arenas fleet, which had really been sticky over the last 2 or 3 weeks, the fish again started biting like before. There were some nice Dorado bites. Yes, there were bonita. Yes, there were needlefish. Yes, there were jack crevalle. But we also started hooking some of those big roosterfish. Unexpected, because usually the roosterfish bite during the springtime. That's when we get the big hogs, those 50, 60, 100 pounders. And then this time of year, if we even get any, maybe they're 5, 10 pound fun fish, close inshore, great on fun tackle. But we actually hooked some 30 to 50 pound fish. On top of it, not only were the Dorado and roosterfish biting, but also some tuna were still getting picked up. Maybe 2 or 3 a day, but a nice grade tuna. Not the little footballs, but some 30 and 40 pound fish, and even some larger fish that were getting lost. Now here's the boogaboo in all of this. We still were not getting any live bait. The live bait that we were able to obtain from the bait guys were these little 1 and 2 inch baits that you had to put 3 and 4 on a hook to get anything going on. They're not going to swim very well either when you got 3 or 4 little baits on a big hook. But the fish were biting those, but we were also using frozen bait. We're also using dead bait. We're also using chunked bonito as well. When we catch a bonita, the bonita meat is very, very oily, very bloody, very, very effective. If you chunk it, the tuna were eating that. The Dorado were also eating strips of that as well. So we were still getting good bites even though we didn't have the live bait. So everything was going swimmingly. And then we started getting these notices about this storm that was coming up. It was called Norma, and it was just maybe going to be a tropical storm. We've had, I think we've had 4 tropical storms and 1 little hurricane, all little blows that didn't really last very long, dropped some rain on us, a little bit of an inconvenience. And according to the advisories, it said that, maybe Cabo was going to get it. And it was going to be let me tell you, it started out as just a little invest, and then it became a category 4 all of a sudden, then a 3, then back to a 4 with 150 mile an hour winds, and Cabo was going to get it right smack in the nose like so often that they do. Flooding and everything else, wind advisories, marine advisories. And what happened instead is it came up to us in La Paz, 100 miles further north. Cabo still got its share, don't get me wrong. They weathered through it, but then it sat on us Usually a hurricane will last, even Odile. We had Hurricane Odile, which was historic in 2014. And it was like one of the biggest hurricanes that had ever hit Mexico. Did a lot of destruction, a lot of stories people can tell you about Hurricane Odile in 2014. But it passed through us in about 8 or 10 hours. Hurricane Norma has been sitting on us for almost 3 days. And forget about the mild winds of a tropical storm they told us we were going to get. We've had winds up to over 100 miles an hour. And it's still blowing right now. Maybe it's blowing about 40 or 50, but the winds are still howling down there. The waters look like frothy chocolate milk. There were waves hitting the Malecon. If you've been on our Malecon, you know there's a big concrete walkway out there. Waves were hitting it so strong that the splash was going as high as the palm trees, and buildings across the street, across the Malecon, were getting wet. Lots of flooding. From what I saw today when I could get out, lots of trees down. I mean, a lot of destruction. Take a look at the video and the pictures I've got at the very end of our fishing gallery, and you're going to see a lot of destruction in the marinas. A lot of boats went down. A lot of boats rammed into each other. A lot of moorings got untied. Just a lot of destruction down at the marina. Unfortunately, I saw a lot of roofs get torn off. I saw some cars get washed away. The arroyos completely flooded. Big sinkholes developed. From what I'm hearing from other friends, they lost walls and windows. Our Tailhunter restaurant, I thought we had made it through, but the whole front of our palapa, that shade that we have in front of our restaurant, completely torn off. Some of the roof has also been torn off. It's going to take a while for us to clean things up. I'll tell you what, I did make it downstairs a couple of times, thinking I was going to get some great video and some shots when I was checking. Well, our car alarm wouldn't turn off at 2 in the morning. So I went down there, and I'll tell you what, raindrops moving at 100 miles an hour still sting like heck. It's not just a strong rain. When you start getting hit by rain moving over 100 miles an hour, it hurts, it stings. I had to get out of it really quick. I would have gotten better and more photos and video for you, but it was just dangerous to be out there. Parts of roofs were flying around. Parts of trees were flying around. I'll tell you what, Odile might have been a stronger hurricane at a Category 3 with 150 to 200 mile an hour winds, but I've not seen a hurricane. And I've been through 16 different hurricanes in Hawaii, many down here in Mexico. I've never seen a hurricane do this much destruction and sit on us for so long, almost 3 days. Jill and I have been up for almost 2 days because the wind was blowing so strong, it was forcing the rain in through every single crack and crevice, under doors, through windows. Doors, our floors were flooded. All of the other units around us completely flooded. 1 inch or 2 inches of water covering every inch of floor. Lots of flooding everywhere. Like I said, it's going to be a big cleanup, but it's happened before. We'll get through this. Definitely, though, no fishing for a couple days until the waters clear up. The winds still have to die down, and they're still blowing. We're still getting some rain. It's like, as Jill says, it's like a bad date that stalks you. We can't get rid of Norma. She's still here. She's stomping on us. She's still dancing on our heads. So we hope she moves out according to the advisories. By the time you're seeing this, hopefully Norma will have moved on. But looking at the charts, there might be 2 more storms to the south of us, so we just can't get a break. Been a very, very unusual weather season for us, but fortunately it is almost pretty much the end of the season. Weather's changing, fish are changing, water's changing. We just never expected a storm like this. In fact, I can't think of another time, maybe once when we had another storm in October, but never one of this magnitude. And like I said, it's still sitting here. A lot of clients couldn't fly in because the airports have been closed. The La Paz airport definitely still closed at the time of this report. Cabo Airport is open, but the arroyos leading in and out of town are so flooded that it's very difficult to get to and from Cabo San Lucas right now. Lots of flooding. And a lot of our clients that were here can't get out, so we're working and doing our best to get them out. With no electricity and no power, hard to get food, can't take a shower, can't flush the toilet. So the CFE, which is our power company here, is doing our best to get everybody back online. But so far, everybody's been very patient. They've been very understanding. They know that this is weather. It's not something that we can control. We have advised everyone that was coming down that things could be very, very difficult. So everybody understands that. So we're doing the best. Everybody's hanging in there, and that's going to do it for my report. Listen, I'm Jonathan for the Mexican Minute. Don't click off. check out. I was just going to say goodbye. Thank you very much for checking in. And we lost electricity. My computer went out. So that's what was going on. It's been on and off. We've had electrical power outages. We've had Wi-Fi losses, internet. We didn't have water and power for about 12 hours. A lot of places in town still do not have water or power. So that's what happened right there. So a little bit of a glitch in my adios to you. But listen, thanks for checking in. We really appreciate it. I'll catch you next week. I'm Jonathan for the Mexican Minute. Stay tuned. Don't click off. Lots of photos to see of fish, and then you're going to see what normal look like as well. God bless. Take care. We'll catch you next week.